first of a short series of revision lessons. We'll revisit some of the key topics in the syllabus, and we'll hopefully be able to reinforce some of the key points that may not have been fully appreciated first time around. In this lesson, we will focus on simple opening bids of one of a suit. And the second part of this lesson, we'll look at how partner responds when they've got support for your major suit opening. These are known as limit bid raises. And we'll also review how responders should evaluate their hand when there is a trump fit. Now, just a reminder, I know some of you watching my videos are based in other countries, but my lessons are based on Standard English Acol. So if you're learning bridge in the UK, Ireland, maybe Australia or possibly New Zealand, you may also be learning English Acol. But for many of you in other countries, what you've been taught will not be consistent with what I teach in this particular lesson. So if you're in the US or some European countries, you may find actually what I teach in this particular film is completely different from what you've been taught in your bridge lessons. So just to make you aware of that. So a reminder, when are we actually going to open the bidding? Well, when we first started to learn about bidding and auctions, we were taught that any hand with 12 or more high card points would normally open the bidding. We've subsequently come across hands sometimes with 11 or possibly even 10 high card points where we also open the bidding with one of a suit. That's following something called the guideline of 20, which is often referred to by some bridge books and teachers as the rule of 20. You can see it on page 31 of the beginning bridge book. So that covers shapely hands that you might actually consider opening when even though you've got slightly fewer than 11 points. But let's concentrate more for now on hands where we've got at least 12 high card points. And what we learned way back in the early days of our lessons was that whenever we've got 12 to 14 high card points and a balanced hand, we will always open one no trump. Okay, and balanced hands for this context are any hand where you've got four cards in one and three cards in each of the other three suits, or if you've got a 4-4-3-2 distribution, or perhaps you've got a 5-card suit, 2 3-card suits, and a 2-card suit. So you've never got more than one double turn. You've not got a singleton. You've not got a void. That's a balanced hand there. Okay, and just a reminder here, this is Standard English Acol. If you're learning your bridge in other countries, we would open one no trump on different strength hands, of course. So you might be looking at that thinking, why are we doing that? That's because this is for Standard English Acol. So what about if you haven't got a balanced hand? That's where we're going to concentrate a bit more. But firstly, just a reminder that in lessons 22 and 23, we also covered how to open when you've got a much stronger hand. Those are things like the 2 no trump opening or the 2 club opening. And then in lessons 24 and 25, we went on to show when we can open the bidding actually when we've got weak hands, much weaker hands than we've mentioned here, 12 to 14 points. Much weaker hands and long suits. Okay, those are known as preemptive bids. We also looked at those in lessons 24 and 25. Now, the good news is to keep this revision lesson simple, we're not going to look at any of the material covered in lessons 22 onwards. We're not revising these today. We're going to go back to focusing on simple opening the bidding with either balanced or unbalanced hands with anything more than 12 high card points. So we're going to open the bidding. We've got at least 12 high card points. What do we do? What do we open? Okay, let's remember the most important thing, and we stressed this on the previous slide, whenever we've got a balanced hand with 12 to 14 points, we always open it one no trump. That makes the auction so much simpler as we proceed. Often we find if we don't recognize that we should be opening one no trump with our balanced hands, we open them some other bid. Later on in the auction, life becomes very difficult for us. It becomes very hard to describe our hand properly to our partner, and we'll regret the fact that we didn't take the chance to open one no trump. So it's always best playing Standard English Acol whenever you've got 12 to 14 points and a balanced hand that you must open one no trump. Okay, here's just one example. Okay, we've got a 5-3-3-2 shape here. Some people would think you should open this a club, but if you're playing Acol here, definitely correct to open this with one no trump. That's the perfect bid for that hand, and there are plenty more obviously shapes and hands we could show for examples of that. that. Okay, let's move on from opening one no trump, because the purpose of this lesson is really to look more at opening one of a suit and responses to one of a suit. Okay, so if you can't open one no trump, or your hand isn't suitable to open one no trump, what we suggest is you bid one of your longest suit. Okay, so here's an example of that. Again, here now we've got 15 high card points, very similar to the last hand, but we're slightly stronger. We're too strong to open one no trump. Our longest suit is clubs, and we would simply open one club here. Okay. What about if we've got two suits of equal length? Okay, well, the guideline there is generally you open one of the higher ranked suit. Okay, so here's an example of that. We have got 15 high card points. We've got a balanced hand. We're too strong to open one no trump because we have 15 high card points, and we have two equal length suits. We've got 4 cards in spades, we've got 4 cards in clubs here. So here we open one spade, which is the higher ranked of our 2 equal length suits. So the right bid here is to open one spade. There is one exception to this rule. And the exception is when you've got a hand with exactly 4 cards in hearts and exactly 4 cards in spades, you always choose to open one heart rather than one spade. Okay, so the exception to the previous rule is here. So here we've got 7, 10, we've got 15 high card points, a balanced hand, but we've got 4 cards in hearts, 4 cards in spades, and the exception to the rule says normally we would open the higher ranking of 2 equal length suits, but here the exception case is always when you've got hearts and spades. We open one heart on that hand. So let's have a look at some examples selecting the opening bid according to what we've just seen. The first hand, hand number 1, this is a balanced hand with 4, 3, 3, 3. We've got 4 clubs and 3 cards in every other suit, and we've got 14 high card points. So I hope I've made the point now that whenever we have a balanced hand and 12 to 14 points in England playing Standard English Acol, we would open that one no trump. Okay. Hand 2. Here we're not balanced. We've got 2 doubletons. We've got a 6 card diamond suit. Diamonds is our longest suit. We're strong enough to open. We've got 14 high card points. So here we're going to have to simply open one of our longest suit. Our longest suit is diamonds. So that's the case. We would open one diamond here. Hand number 3. 13 high card points, but we're not balanced. Okay, so we can't open one no trump. We've got 2 equal length suits. We've got 5 card spade suit and a 5 card club suit. Okay, so normally when we have equal length in 2 suits, we open the higher ranked suit. Spades is a higher ranked suit than clubs. So here we would simply open one spade on that hand. Hand number 4, we have got a balanced hand. We've got 4, 2, 4, 3 shape. That's nice. So we've got 2 equal length suits, 4 cards in spades, 4 cards in diamonds. Overall, we've got 15 high card points. So the important thing here is 15 high card points. That's too strong to open one no trump in England. In America, that would be a perfect hand for a one no trump opening, but not if you're playing Standard English Acol. So we cannot open one no trump here. We're too strong for that. But we've got equal length in 2 suits, and so we would open the higher ranked of our 2 equal length suits here. So we would open one spade here. Hand number 5. Similarly, we have a similar hand to the last one, but we've just swapped around the 2 red suits. So now we have got 4 cards in spades and 4 cards in hearts. Again, we're too strong to open one no trump. We have 15 high card points. That's too strong for one no trump. So we must open one of a suit. Now, this is the exception case. We have 4 cards in hearts and 4 cards in spades. So here we actually open one heart rather than one spade. So the unique exception case whenever normally you would open the higher ranked of 2 equal suits, but when you've got 4 hearts and 4 spades, you always open one heart rather than one spade. So here, this is the special case where you would open one heart. And hand number 6, just look at that. We've got 11 high card points, but very, very flat balanced shape here. So this is a hand where we would not open at all. Okay, this is a trick one here. It's not strong enough to open one no trump, and it's not right to open one of a suit with 11 high card points in a very balanced shape here. So much better to pass on this hand. Maybe your partner's got an opening bid. Alternatively, if the opponents open the bidding, your hand might be well suited for defense here. So this one is a hand where it's much better to pass rather than to open the bidding. Okay. Thanks very much. So in part two, what we'll do now is look at what happens when the partner has support for your opening bid of one of a major. So in the situations where you've opened one spade or one heart and your partner has support for that, we'll look at how they can show that support and what they should do.